Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. I have some very big updates on you. Matter of fact, we have Invest 99L over here right off the East Coast that has formed up. 29 miles per hour sustained winds, 8 miles per hour moving to the north. Expected to strengthen and maybe become tropical storm, subtropical storm Ophelia right off the East Coast, bringing y'all some impacts. Strong winds, a lot of flooding, plus 10 to 12 foot waves. I'm still showing. I will show you all the latest information. Plus, we still have chances for damage and winds, a couple of days of tornadoes and flooding coming to the U.S. as well. Plus, what's going on over here in the tropics in the MDR. We don't have an invest for this one yet. This will become tropical storm potential Hurricane Philippe in the coming days, guys. So there's a lot going on. Remember, timestamps will be in the description to save you time. Watch it all the way through. Be a legend in my heart. I appreciate every single one of you that do support me. Never been here before. Make sure you subscribe. I am all year long. It is free to do. I will give you all the latest information. So remember, use timestamps down below in the description if you've never been here before, and just click on the time. It'll bring you to what you need to see. Now let's get into your latest information so you know what to expect. HRRR is showing as we go into tomorrow morning, it's already going to start hitting with these rain bands hitting along the coast, guys, and definitely hitting along North Carolina and Virginia the most as you go through tomorrow afternoon. A lot of banding going all across North Carolina, and it does stretch into Virginia as well as we go towards 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Goes into southern Maryland, goes into Delaware. By the time you go into midnight, this is going to be climbing on land as you go through midnight, guys. Then after all these storms go up and out through the northeast, bringing you your rainfall amounts, this is still going to be whipping right up the coast, bringing these winds with it. A little bit more rain as well, but this is going to bring winds in all these little nooks that you see over here, especially for North Carolina. I see a lot of 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts that's going to be in all of this area for you guys. And so far on intensity, it's showing that it could be a tropical storm, a subtropical storm Ophelia, maybe even get all the way up towards a Cat 1 hurricane possibility, guys, as it goes towards 48 hours and then declines very quickly. Then maybe strengthen up again in 5 days, moving away in the Atlantic back to a tropical storm again. So we do have chance for a tropical storm Ophelia to form right off the coast. But you can see the more than likely track is what we are seeing this morning in the model runs. I will show you the latest information. It also can come in, just like the GFS is seeing, come in and bring a lot more impacts, but curve out very quickly. I'm going to show you what's trending. I'm going to show you what National Weather Service and Weather Prediction Center is going by. They're going by GFS impacts. I'm going to show you the latest information on this potential tropical storm Ophelia. And what's in the MDR going to the west, when that forms up, that would be Philippe. So we might have Ophelia and Philippe very shortly. Matter of fact, another update. This is growing so fast, guys. Now we have a PTC 16. Potential Tropical Cyclone 16. This is going to be Tropical Storm Ophelia, Subtropical Storm, whichever way they title it. They are expecting it to be a tropical storm, not the hurricane, and be a tropical storm by 8 a.m. on Saturday, hitting North Carolina, hitting Virginia, then going down to a tropical depression by Sunday and curving out quickly, just like the GFS is seeing. Tropical storm warnings are out for North Carolina, for Virginia, southern Maryland as well, going up towards Delaware. Also, storm surge is expected. If you're in any of this yellow, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge is expected, up to 4 feet. Any of this blue, all the way down towards South Carolina as well, up to 3 feet of storm surge is expected so far. But as of right now, you are on a storm surge watch. This is all a timing issue. Within 24 hours of impacts, it will turn into a warning. And so far, National Hurricane Center has it out for your chance to get sustained winds, not your wind gusts. Your sustained winds of at least tropical storm conditions, that's 39 miles per hour all the way up to 73. But just at least 39 miles per hour sustained winds. Up here in this yellow going to this brown, you have anywhere from 30 to 40. The brown going from 50 and more. So you can see that a lot of it is going to be offshore, but it is going into North Carolina and Virginia, southern Maryland, southern Delaware a little bit, guys. and the coast of New Jersey. Now remember, all these links are in the description below, so as the storm surge and everything changes, that will update as well. Plus disturbance 2, which is don't even have an invest yet for this neither. It is at 70% and maybe 20% in the next 48 hours. And I'm seeing a lot of convection on this already for today. And you can see this shot here. It is getting a lot of convection today. A lot of convection all around the center of these thunderstorms. That's what that blue is indicative to, is a lot of lift, a lot of convection, a lot of growing thunderstorms in the system. And you see they did stretch it all the way out towards the Lesser Antilles with the storm, but it's generally moving westward. But whether it goes a little further to the south, a little further to north, it is predicted to turn regardless. Also, the storm is dealing with some dry air that's coming off of this dust that's in front of it, so it's going to be bulldozing its way right into some dry air. Plus, the next wave coming after it, it could do a little something as it goes into the tropics, guys. Maybe even push it a little further to the west, maybe even get a little Fujiwara effect on it, maybe just curve out into the Atlantic. I'm going to show you all the latest updates. But you can also see here from the Euro, from your potential velocity anomaly, as it strengthens up and goes towards the coast, Euro is actually giving it a good chance becoming a tropical storm, a subtropical storm, and it would be Ophelia to be the next system. While this comes right into our upper Midwest, bringing all these thunderstorms right in front of it and creating a lot of flooding, stretching all the way down towards the south with these storms, bringing more rainfall all the way down to the south. By the time we go into Sunday, then it's going to be moving out through the northeast, and that's going to sit there and get blocked for a couple more days by that high pressure, bringing more and more rainfall, adding especially for the upper Midwest. You can also see when you check the latest intensity, according to the Euro, chance for just a tropical depression, guys, bringing it all the way up to 80 to 90% chance of at least a tropical depression to form, while you see they still have that one storm is going to curve out to the northwest and eventually curve back out towards the east. That's been trending with the Euro since day one. Even showing a strong chance for a tropical storm, a subtropical storm, Ophelia, to form, guys. We're talking 80 going towards 90% chance of a tropical storm to form right off the coast of the Carolinas as that swishes by. Euro does show it getting very strong, all the way down to a 993, guys. Definitely bringing a stronger system as it goes right out through the northeast in the two parts. You get the storms in the front, you get a surface low behind it, bringing some more rain, but it's bringing the winds with the surface low. While you get them storms going all the way from upper Midwest, all the way down towards the south central. Then right after that, right after Sunday and Monday, then you got the storms hitting the northwest on Washington and Oregon. Now the trend on that has been that storm's going on a higher ridge into Canada, and it's only going to be the coast that's going to get the heavy rainfall, not go so far inland. Then of course what's going on in MDR, Euro still shows it a little bit stronger today. Yesterday it showed it just a group of disorganized thunderstorms. Now it's agreeing that it will have some strength behind it as it curves right before the Lesser Antilles. No threat. But the GFS is picking up for this weekend as it goes in Friday through Saturday and maybe into Sunday morning as it brings 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts, even getting pockets of 60 for North Carolina, Virginia, to the edge of southern Maryland as well. All in this coves, guys, all 50 to possible 60 as it goes out through the northeast and bringing 40s to everybody else. The Euro is agreeing that everywhere in there will be all these 50 miles per hour wind gusts, even going a little further up the coast, maybe with some 60s going in over there by Delaware and New Jersey. But it's not showing it much over here for the Carolinas, so it's a little hit and miss. But definitely 50 to 60 miles per hour wind gusts is possible as this system travels through for y'all. And it goes all the way out through Long Island, the coast of Connecticut and Rhode Island. And the waves, I'm still showing the waves are still 10 to 12 foot high starting on Friday. So you definitely need to watch out for those riptide currents, guys. 10 to 12 foot waves that will be stretching all along South Carolina, North Carolina, going all the way towards New Jersey. Time you go into Saturday, then it'll stay northern for Saturday evening, going into Sunday as it leaves out. Definitely 10 to 12 foot waves. And the GFS is showing just like we saw in the control member of the ensembles yesterday, guys. And I will show you what I found today. Agreeing that it will be a strong, strengthening surface low off the East Coast. So you will have those winds, guys. You will have all them storms from the upper Midwest to the South Central. You will have the storms on the Northwest. And you see how I just nicks it. That's been the trend. There's just going to be a little bit of nicking along the coast of Washington and Oregon of that heavy rainfall. and agreeing that that system will go towards Lesser Antilles, showing more strength than anybody, but this is the GFS. It is more bullish. Going by Puerto Rico, going and turning by Dominican Republic and Haiti, right out through the north, but it does a wobble. It does a little western wobble right back after that. So we do need to watch that wobble as well. And waited for the 6E to see what the trend was a little further to the north, according to the GFS. Still showing a stronger system, but it is agreeing now with the Euro. It will be further to the north and still turning right before the Bahamas, just like we saw in the control member yesterday, and going right out, but still some kind of a wobble right there. We need to watch for that wobble. I noticed yesterday, if it goes further to the west, that wobble is going to do something else. If it goes further to the west, and then it heads north, that wobble could come towards the coast. So we need to watch for how far to the west this system actually goes. But you can see in all the control members for today, starting in 6 days, showing where this system will be. More likely will be a little northern on the top of MDR, just like Euro is showing. And they are still showing that it will go out now. There is still a few of them that show it will go into the Gulf, still be a problem, so you still might see that in the model runs. However, this being your control member, there's your more likely outcome. This is what we're seeing today, what we saw yesterday. And the update for today shows it will go right back, just like it showed yesterday, except that second wave behind it could come and bump it a little further to the west before it starts turning, guys. So you can see here with the GOES satellite that you do have a lot of dust that's going to be all in front of that wave as it moves to the west-northwest. Plus behind it, the wave behind it is starting to move to the west-northwest. That's the one you saw that did a little bump behind it. And maybe it's starting to do a little turn right there. You see how it does a little turn at the end of the run? Just like we've been seeing in the ensembles, that it will go just like it did on the last storm and curve north. Plus this one right here, it's also making that west-northwest path. What worries me, this has been trending going into the Atlantic. It could bump it a little bit. We've got to watch that. This third one back here, at the very end of the run on the GOES satellite, this one is further to the south. This one will take a lot longer to reach to the west. And I'm still showing by the Euro that October 2nd through the 10th, we have some strong anomalies coming through in October, especially all the way to the 20th. That's when our strongest will be. So it will take time for these waves to come across. And the further south that we have these waves, the better chance we have of that going into our Caribbean and being that big, strong storm. You can also see with the SpaghettiOs, according to the Euro, still showing it will be more northern in 6 days. And as you keep going, still agreeing, maybe a couple will go a little further to the west, but it is trending and more favorable that it will curve immediately to the north and go out. Now that's 10 days. GFS sees the same thing in 6 days, a little bit closer to the west, but it's agreeing with the north side now. As it curves a little bit further to the west, still agreeing is going to curve to the north, guys. Now that is 10 days. Still, as a sneaky little wave could come underneath the radar in 10 days, that wave on the bottom could make it into our Caribbean, and it could form up something on the Western Caribbean still, and still cause an issue. So we need to watch that, guys. That is literally too far to take as accuracy, but this is literally going to start in 10 days from that wave that's lower on the south side. Because remember, in September, this is exactly what we see. They will turn out here, or they'll be lower, further to the south in the MDR, go further into the Caribbean, and either go west or go into our Gulf or turn as well. And in October, we see the same thing. They come to the Western Caribbean and they turn. This is a normal path of this time of season. Showing still by the Euro that our update on potential velocity anomaly, it's more like a neutral to a little bit of lift. So there is something there all the way to the beginning of October. But once we go October 7th and 8th, all the way through the end of October, right in our region, Western Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, also Eastern Pacific, we still have this strengthening lift that's coming to our area, even showing it even stronger now for around the 25th and 26th. So we definitely need to watch it. This is going to be the very strongest part of our season so far this year. And we got a whole month of it coming our way. So let's talk rainfall impacts. What we have according to the GFS, the newest data out. This is only the next 5 days. This is the latest run on the GFS. And you see how you have 1 to 2 inches over here for the northwest. You also build it up for 1 to 2, possibly getting to darker, 4 to 5 in that brown. For the upper Midwest, that's because that little stall from that block, and it does transfer all the way down towards the DFW. While over here for North Carolina, Virginia, going across southern Maryland, Delaware, a little bit of Pennsylvania, southern Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and some of Massachusetts over here by Boston. See how it's further to the south over here. This seems to be what Weather Prediction Center is showing, but it's not what's trending. So when you look with the Euro, you see how it's lighter still on the northwest. See how it's very heavy up here for the upper Midwest and down here for the South Central as well. But it's picking up very much heavier, going way into Pennsylvania, going higher up New York, getting Massachusetts into it, all the way up towards Vermont and New Hampshire. That's actually trending with the Canadian model as well. This heaviness, but also that it's higher in the Northeast. But when you look at Weather Prediction Center is showing like GFS, not what's trending in the models today. That it is going to be heavy for North Carolina, Virginia still, southern Maryland, southern Delaware, going into southern Jersey, Long Island, some of Rhode Island, and southeastern Massachusetts. And everything else is lighter. All that blue right there, that's all a little over an inch. So it's not showing that heaviness going way up, just like the other models. It's only showing it along the coast and then heavy for North Carolina and Virginia, just like the GFS. Plus it's showing that this would be 2 to 3 inches up here for the upper Midwest and trail all the way down to the South Central. This is within the next 5 days. This will build up more like the Northwest. You have 1 in the blue. You have 2 to 3 in the purple to the red. But once you go 7 days, that's when you're going to get your storms, 5 to 7, how that builds up for y'all in the Northwest, those other 2 days. But you can see down here that it will be for the South Central. It will be for the DFW as well. A lot of rainfall coming for a lot of people. A lot of flooding. So you can see this here. For today, you do have the marginal going across the southeast as the storms start building. You have a few areas that has marginal. We do have severe weather for the next few days as well. And you have slight risk going into southern South Dakota, northern Nebraska, going also into Texas and towards DFW and Oklahoma. So that's where your slight risk, your heaviest flooding will be for today. Now this will grow. For tomorrow, you have a big slight risk going to the upper Midwest from Montana going into the Dakotas. You also have it over here towards the East Coast. You have a slight risk for flash flooding going from South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, into southern Jersey. This is for tomorrow. This is going to grow some more, guys. As we go into Saturday, now you see why I had to put timestamps in it. All this has to be shown. Now you have slight risk going all the way from upper Midwest into Minnesota, all the way down towards Oklahoma City. A big slight risk for flash flooding, plus the Northeast. Now it's going towards Massachusetts, Rhode Island, towards Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. All y'all in this slight risk for flash flooding for Saturday. Plus you have the marginal that still stretches out a little bit further. And it carries again for Sunday. You still have some along the coast of the Northeast, and you do have it for the upper Midwest, but now it's building towards the South and the South Central, and it's getting more of the DFW in on it. You have some of southern Missouri, eastern Oklahoma, you have a little bit of Arkansas all the way to Little Rock, and you have more going towards the DFW and northern Louisiana. So there's going to be a lot of flash flooding all the way into this weekend, guys. But for today, we do have these storms that are brewing up. And they are bringing chances for tornadoes. They're bringing damage and winds with them, especially these cells that's going right across Texas and Oklahoma as you go through this evening. Very strong storms coming through, and it will be a second round coming through in the morning as you get this for the upper Midwest. This circles around over here towards the mountains as you got the system going off the East Coast as you go into tomorrow afternoon. There's just a lot going on. And we're even getting some snow. Getting some snow moving through Wyoming, Idaho, and some of Montana as you go through Friday and some of Saturday. Getting some snow. Plus, when we look at updraft and list, it shows that you, as you go through this afternoon into tonight, there's a lot of chances to get some hail coming through southern South Dakota, northern Nebraska, some a little bit for Kansas, also some coming through northern Texas, a little bit of southern Oklahoma. And then for tomorrow morning, it's going to move through a little bit of the DFW and a little bit more towards sporadic of Montana and Wyoming. But you do have 2 places where we have some chances for hail out of these storms tonight. And the winds are adding up over here in the south, up Midwest, and that revolving system over here for the mountains as well, not to mention the system on the East Coast. Once you get into this afternoon, it's going to start picking up to 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Now, it's showing over 70 on some of these cells, but you definitely say it'd be some 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts for New Mexico, Panhandle of Texas. Going for southern Oklahoma towards the DFW a little bit. While you get some 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts for southern South Dakota, Nebraska. Then as you go through Friday evening, then it starts building up to that other system where it starts bringing the 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts towards Wyoming and Colorado and some of Utah as well as this goes up on that high ridge. And the East Coast, I mean, the HRRR is not a tropical model, but it's picking up kind of what all the other models are picking up, guys. That it is going to be some 50 miles per hour wind gusts up to 60. That will be all in North Carolina and Virginia along the coast. But it could be 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts as it gets on land as well. So be careful of this system, not just the riptide currents, the flooding. Some winds are going to be pretty dangerous for y'all as well. Plus, showing as you go through later tonight, a chance to get a tornado. This is significant tornado perimeters. It factors in dew points, wind shear, and this shows that definitely Kansas, western Kansas, has a chance to get a tornado as you go through this afternoon. And as you go through tomorrow, it's going to build even further to the north, and it's going to go all the way through Nebraska. Even a stronger chance of getting a tornado. Now, before I show you your warnings and where your warnings are, let's go through your rainfall amounts according to National Weather Service model. This is the next almost 3 days to 65 hours. This is the most accuracy we will get out of this every single day, guys. All the way till Sunday, still showing heavier rainfall, 1 to 2 inches from Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, southern Minnesota, western Iowa, 1 to almost 2 inches. Going into Nebraska, mostly northern and eastern. Going to western Missouri, eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, and start making its way towards DFW as you go into Sunday. And that's going to build some more. Plus, as you look towards the East Coast, you're going to get a little bit for southern Florida. Not a whole bunch, but you're going to start building up a little bit for southern Florida and the Florida Keys. But all along the East Coast, this is where you're going to start getting this heavy rainfall, guys. So let's start with South Carolina. You are going to get towards the Myrtle Beach area, 1 to possibly 2 inches. But once you go towards North Carolina, once you go towards Virginia, southern Maryland, southern Delaware, southern New Jersey, all y'all 2 to 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches as you go towards North Carolina, and getting even heavier, maybe 4 towards 5. So be very careful. This is only until Sunday, but you see how it's agreeing also with the GFS. It will be coastal with that inch all the way through the Northeast. It won't be very high into Pennsylvania, all the way through Massachusetts and high in New York with over 2 inches of rainfall. That's been trending with the Canadian and the Euro. The Weather Prediction Center and National Weather Service model is showing what the GFS is showing today. Now, this is bringing severe weather threat, guys. For today, you do have chances for hail, even large hail. This black section right here inside this yellow is chances for large hail at least 2 inches in diameter. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. Large hail being the white line on top. You also have chances for winds today, damaging winds. 5% and 2 areas of the 15%, right where I showed you where those winds could be. And so far, here's your cities and states at risk for the damaging winds for today. Plus a chance for tornadoes. You do have 2 chances for tornadoes for today in those 2 areas, especially that group that's moving through Oklahoma and northern Texas. And you have that 5% of that big group that's moving through Nebraska and southern South Dakota. Just like I'm showing, that's going to be more for tomorrow as well. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat, and today is for Thursday. Now, so far, National Weather Service has had severe hail and thunderstorm gusts are possible this afternoon into tonight across parts of the southern and central plains, with slight tornado potential over the central plains also. Now, here we go into tomorrow. For Friday, your chances for hail again. Big section, right where you saw the winds starting to group up. For tomorrow, you have the chances for hail over there with those storms, 5% and 15%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for Friday. Plus your wind threat. The same areas right where I show you where you have those 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts. You do have the damaging wind threat as well. So here's the cities and states at risk for the damaging winds for Friday. And we also have the tornado threat for tomorrow. Not as strong as for today, but it's in those areas where I showed you with the significant tornado perimeters. You have a 2%. So far, here's your cities at risk. So far, they have it only for Nebraska, but you do see it does go into South Dakota as well. And National Weather Service has it as severe thunderstorms will be possible across parts of the central and northern plains, mainly Friday afternoon into Friday night. Hail, strong damage and gusts, and a tornado or two will be possible. And going into Saturday, because it has grown, guys. Look how much bigger the slight risk is now. So for Saturday, you have the big 5% and you have the big 15% for severe weather. I will update you first thing in the morning. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Saturday. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you and your families. Hope you have a very great Thursday out there, everybody. Please prepare for these impacts, for this wind, for this flooding. It is going to become an issue. You might need to get some sandbags to protect some things on your property. Just remember that if you're in a flood-prone area, you should be getting ready for these storms, guys. Now, I will give you an update tomorrow morning. If you want afternoon updates starting today, let me know, because we do have this Invest potential tropical storm forming right off the East Coast. That could strengthen up pretty quickly, because remember, like I showed you yesterday, it's right in that path of them warmer temperatures. Psalm 143, verse 10. Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my God. Thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. Amen. I encourage you to go read that scripture right there, Psalm 143. That is such an inspirational psalm. You will enjoy it. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I pray He always keeps you safe every day of your life, you and your family and your neighbors. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.